Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kat and today I'm going to be talking about some new makeup releases. I haven't prepared anything. I'm just going to go in blind. I'm going to look through Trend Mood, I'm going to look through Indie Makeup Spotlight, and we're going to see what's coming out, chat about whether I think they're good releases, bad releases, whether I want them, whether I don't want them. You know the drill. Now on my channel I try my best not to promote overconsumption. I feel like with beauty influencers and makeup YouTubers there is this sense that you have to buy everything, and I don't want to perpetuate that. So I try my best to promote using what you have, loving what you have, and only buying things if you know that you're gonna use them and love them and they're not just gonna sit collecting dust in your collection. That's my sort of the way that I look at makeup. So as I said, I'm gonna pull up Trend Mood, I'm gonna pull up Indie Mood, and we're just gonna have a look through. If you haven't been here before, hi, I'm Kat, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I am a huge lover of colourful makeup and colourful fashion, and if you want to see some more colour on your timeline, some more fun makeup looks, then just subscribe, why don't you? Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and let's get into this video. So I'm gonna scoop my goop and I'm gonna move over so that I can put some pictures up so you can see what I am talking about. So yeah, we're just gonna look as we go. Okay, so the first thing that I'm coming across that like is actually piquing my interest is the new Patrick Tarr. I think this is the holiday release. It is a blush trio palette and it looks gorgeous. I really want to try Patrick Tarr blushes. I think they look so lovely. I love the color combinations and like the color options, and I feel like these are three nice shades, but I personally wouldn't buy this because I would never use the shade She's a Doll, which is like the bright sort of fuchsia pink shade. I think She's Baked is really pretty and She's Vibrant is also really pretty, but there's just, I never find an excuse to use a cool toned pink blush. You know, my cheek products, I like to use them to warm up the skin, to make me look kind of bronzy and glowy, not like a haunted doll. So I don't really go for like cool toned pink blush. Good for you if you do, very happy for you, but personally it's just not my cup of tea. So Colourpop are releasing the Lucky Penny collection, and I'm just gonna talk briefly about Colourpop because I've spoken about them before and sort of ranted about them before, but they're getting to a point where everything looks the same. They're not releasing anything that looks interesting. I haven't been drawn to a Colourpop product in such a long time. I just think it's so repetitive and it is so boring, and I just feel like they have no thought behind their collections and their releases. They just kind of throw things out there, and they definitely can because they have their own factory, so things can be manufactured and produced very, very quickly. There's no planning needed, and you can definitely see that in their collections. They're just so repetitive, so same old, and I just think it is incredibly boring, and I don't have any interest in Colourpop stuff anymore. I don't really watch any sort of Colourpop content. I don't care. So apparently Mariah Carey is bringing out her own beauty line called Mariah Carey Beauty, and I'm very intrigued to see what this is going to be like. I hope that it is like so girly, so sparkly, so like early 2000s. Like I could definitely see a Mariah Carey, like, you know, like the glitter puffs that are in like the cardboard sort of boxes. I can so see her releasing one of those. I hope that it's kind of chintzy and just like so her, so I'll be very disappointed if it is very similar to like House Labs, where House Labs is just like not Lady Gaga at all. So I hope that this is like super Mariah Carey, and I'm very excited to see what she's gonna do with this brand. So this is the holiday set from Fenty. It is a cream blush and a mini gloss bomb, and they are called the Resting Peach Face. I think this blush looks absolutely stunning. I love an orange peachy blush, but I just don't wear lip gloss. So unless I could find someone who would want the lip gloss but not the blush, and I can have the blush and they can have the lip gloss, that is the only way that I'm gonna get this set. It's really like good bang for your buck. It's $25, which is probably gonna be £25, which is really good for a lip gloss and a cream blush. And I love my Fenty cream blushes. I'm a big fan of the formula. So yeah, I do think this is really cute. It's just annoying that it's a lip gloss, and like if it was a lipstick, like a Mademoiselle lipstick, I would buy it in a heartbeat. But I just don't wear lip gloss, and I'm quite good at like, I'm learning my sort of, my preferences, I guess. So it's like I can avoid making like purchasing mistakes because I just know what I like and I know what I dislike and I know what I wear and I know what I don't wear. So I'm able to like move past things quite quick because I'm like, oh, that doesn't tick a box, or you know, that's XYZ. You know what I mean? I don't know, I feel like I'm not making any sense. So Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, their holiday collection has one shade of a face palette. I just feel like in this day and age, like there is no reason that you should have a single shade of face palette. Like, come on, are you just like a bit, I don't know, like, are you not aware of things that are happening around you? Have you not seen all of the other brands that have been boycotted, have been called out, have been, you know, put on blast because they only provide like one shade or palettes that only suit a very light skin tone? I just think this is so, like, I don't know, I feel like this is, it has to be on purpose. There is too much awareness in the beauty sphere now for inclusion and making sure that everyone is able to wear and use your products regardless of their skin tone, that this just feels purposeful. That it's like, no, only the pale people get this. Like, that's how it feels to me, is like, there's no way that this is an accident, because you should know better by now. Like, it's been years since this has really been like pushed into the mainstream of having inclusive makeup lines. So that to me is just ridiculous. That's what I'm going to speak about from this collection, because the rest just kind of looks like the eyeshadow toppers look pretty, but you can get eyeshadow toppers for a lot cheaper that aren't from Jaclyn Hill. So that's my 2 cents on that. I want to talk about the Denessa Myrick's Lightwork Volume 3 palette. Oh my god, it is absolutely gorgeous. It's 14 shades. There are multi-chromes, duochromes, iridescent shadows. It's £125 or $125. I will never spend that on a palette, but I can appreciate how stunning this is. All of the model photography for this palette has been so beautiful. I've seen so many people use this, and honestly, it just makes my heart sing. I think this is absolutely gorgeous, and I do quite like that it's like all these different textures and tones in one place. So if you're someone who has no special shades in your collection and you just have like quite basic mattes and quite basic shimmers, but you want to add some duochromes, multichromes, iridescent shadows, really sparkly special shades, then maybe buying this instead of loads of singles might be the best way to go. It might work out actually being more cost effective. So I think for that, like, that's quite good. I think for makeup artists, this is brilliant. I just think that this is a gorgeous palette. I think she's done such an amazing job with it. The Natasha Denona holiday sets. So she's releasing the mini glam, is it called? Or like baby glam? A tiny 3-pan version of the, yeah, it's called the Baby Glam. So it's a tiny 3-pan version of the Glam mini palette, and she's also released the mini Metropolis palette. I really like the mini Metropolis. I think it's really nice. I'm personally not attracted to the larger Metropolis palette because I find that the shades are too jumbled for my liking, and I just think it's a very weird mix of colours. However, this selection of colours I think is gorgeous. I love teals and golds together, and with that sort of like mustardy shade, the brown, I think it just would make a really beautiful palette. I think it would maybe be a bit one-noted for me because it would probably always be like the mustard in the crease with the gold and the teal across the lid. Like it would probably be the same look over and over, but I feel like it would be a very beautiful look and something that I would very much enjoy. So I am quite tempted by the Metropolis palette. So I don't keep an eye out for Makeup Revolution anymore. Makeup Revolution are a brand that I definitely only really buy from for like basics, like mascara, things like that. I never really go for eyeshadow, sometimes lipsticks, but it's just not a brand that I keep an eye out for. It's just a brand that I usually go to if I've run out of something. They do a lot of collaborations, they release a lot of palettes, and I just don't really pay attention to any of them. But this one I do think is quite a cool collaboration, and this is the collaboration with The Simpsons, but specifically Treehouse of Horror. So they've done a Treehouse of Horror like horror collection for Halloween. I don't like the big palette because it's just a rainbow palette. I'm really not fussed by that at all. But the two smaller eyeshadow palettes and the highlighter palette I just think is genius. I think it's a really good idea. I love Treehouse of Horror. I love The Simpsons, but the Treehouse of Horror specifically. The brushes look really nice. The lashes look really cool. They're like blue. Not bothered about like the lip gloss or anything, and not bothered by the lip balm or the sponge, but the mini eyeshadow palettes and the mini highlighter palettes I think look really cool. I like it as a collaboration concept. I just think it's really neat. I like it a lot. So Luna Beauty have released the Moonspell Volume 2. So this is basically their replacement for the Moonspell palette, which I have and love. And honestly, like I've seen quite mixed reviews on this because I feel like a lot of people really, really love this palette and really love the idea of it. But personally, I just find this too boring. The reason why I love the Moonspell so much is that you've got the purples, the neutrals, the greens, the blues. Like you've got like a mix, well, it's more teal than blue, but you've got like a mix of color stories, and that makes it so versatile and so interesting, and you can create so many different looks with it. Whereas this, I feel like anytime you use it, you're gonna get a pinky purple look. Regardless of the shades that you put together, you're gonna get a pinky purple look. And I just find that a bit too one-noted, a bit too boring, and it just makes me sad that this is the replacement for the Moonspell. If the Moonspell had never been released and this palette was released, I would think this was absolutely beautiful, but because it's the replacement for Moonspell, I kind of can't help but compare the two, and I just find it a bit too one-noted personally. So Tower 28 have released their Sunny Days SPF 30 tinted sunscreen. This looks lovely. I love a tinted moisturizer or like a tinted sunscreen. I like a very, very light coverage foundation, so this definitely looks like something that I would really, really enjoy. I really want to try some things from Tower 28. I really want to try the blushes so bad, so maybe if I put an order in for the blush, then possibly I'll try this foundation as well. I feel like the shades are a little bit, they all look very yellow, so I don't know about like people with like a very neutral or like a pink undertone might struggle to find a shade, but I think it's really pretty. I think the packaging is gorgeous. I love the like lilac with the half moon of the colour in it. I do think it's really nice, and I'm very intrigued to see some reviews and to see what people think of it and to see more of the shade range to see like how accurate they are. Glossier have released these monochromatic eyeshadow palettes, and although they are not for me, Glossier know their audience. Glossier always understand the assignment. They understand that maybe these like people that want to look like they're not wearing any makeup might occasionally want to wear something with a pop of color. So they've created these very muted eyeshadow palettes. They're a mix of, there's a matte, a satin, and like a shimmer, I think. And they're just perfect for people that wear Glossier, like absolutely perfect. My friend Maisie would love this. She doesn't really wear eyeshadow, and something like this would be perfect for her. Especially if you've got one color eyeshadow that you wear every single day. Like if you wear orange eyeshadow every day, there you go, you've got your little palette. It's refillable, so you can just keep rebuying it. And I feel like that's perfect for the Glossier girl. So I think, although this isn't something that I'm interested in at all, I think it's perfect for the brand and perfect for their customers. I want to talk about the new Glamlight palettes. So there is called the Happy Hour collection. So it's the wine palette, the chocolate martini palette, the margarita palette, and the dirty martini palette. Personally, of these palettes, I just love the dirty martini one. As I'm sure you can imagine, it's like a green monochromatic palette, but with a couple of pops. Like there's some blues, there's some teals, there's a couple of neutrals. I just think it's absolutely stunning. I also quite like the chocolate martini one because I watched Lauren May Beauty's video with these palettes, and the chocolate martini one is definitely more interesting than just a neutral palette. It's definitely got some chocolatey shades in it, but it's also got like a red, a purple, and like all these really gorgeous, yummy, shimmery shades. I'm desperate to try Glamlight's formula. I just see myself really, really liking it, really getting on with it. I don't know why, but I just do. So hopefully I'll be able to get a palette at some point. Shipping is just a bit redonkulous. So I'm kind of waiting for them to be stocked in Europe, and then I will definitely get one of the palettes. And I quite like those as well because they're a lot smaller, a lot more compact than their other palettes. Their other palettes are so humongous. And to me, I only really have room in my collection for one giant palette, and that's now been filled with the Beauty Bay and Jade Thirlwall palette. So I kind of don't have the space in my collection for a giant Glamlight palette. So I quite like that the drink collection is smaller palettes, more condensed. It's still quite a lot of shades, but the actual physical palette is a lot smaller, which I like. I think that's where I'm gonna leave it for this episode. I feel very unprepared, and I feel like I should have maybe gathered everything that I was going to talk about beforehand. But if you like this style of video, then please let me know, and I will definitely try and do it a bit more often for you. Maybe it's something I could do like every couple of weeks. Let me know. I'd love to know your thoughts, and I would love to know if there's anything that's coming out that you're really excited about or that you couldn't care less about. Would love to know. Let me know about the things that I was speaking about. Like just chat with me. I love it when I chat with you guys. My camera died right as I was filming the outro, and I'm not going to charge the battery just to film the outro. Like I'll charge it and leave it overnight. So that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. That would be really cool. And as always, eat good, drink good, take care of yourself, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.